As some of you may have seen on my Twitter, I did a collaboration with Cinefix and the guys from Homemade Movies. Needless to say, it put me in a very Matrix-y mood, so I was like, let's just review The Matrix. Let's do that right now. Seems the thing to do, yes? The Matrix. So The Matrix came out in 1999, and it was a sci-fi the likes of which myself and many other people had never seen ever before. This thing blew people's minds, man. It came out the same year as The Phantom Menace, so there was one revolutionary sci-fi that came out that year. And not only does it have cool special effects and the nostalgia going for it, but The Matrix is actually still a cool movie. The Matrix stars Keanu Reeves. He's this computer hacker type guy. He's not really fulfilled in his life. Classic protagonist story right there, but then Lawrence Fishburne finds him and he's like, I give you a choice, Neo, blue pill or red pill. He takes the red pill, then he learns the truth. A truth which is actually itching at your mind too, because you know something in this world's not right. Like the first big special effect you see in this movie is Trinity does that Karate Kid crane kick and she suspends in midair and the camera turns around, she kicks a guy and you're like, what was that? Because you hadn't seen that before in your life. But even for the universe in this movie, it lets you know something is not right in this world. Spoiler alert for people who haven't watched The Matrix, the world is a lie. It is not the year 1999, it's closer to 2199. Humanity in its entirety is plugged in. Their brains are plugged into a computer and they think they're living their lives. It's pretty much the most realistic MMO ever. Yeah, the world around you, it's an MMO. More or less, it's how I can describe it. Yeah, machines have enslaved mankind, but they did it in a way that Terminators didn't really think of. These machines were like, well, if we plug everyone in and leech them for their energy, we have an unlimited power supply called human bodies. And we'll give them the Matrix so they can still, I don't know, think they're having sex. I guess that's why they did it. They did it because they're nice. But the world is decimated. People are living on ships. It only means they have to fight machines. They have an EMP pulse that they can shoot out when the Sentinels are coming after them. Trinity said in this movie that is the only weapon they have against the machines. The only one. They do not have mechs with automatic weapons, apparently. They don't. The first movie told us that. And Lawrence Fishburne firmly believes that Neo, Keanu Reeves, is the one who's gonna save humanity and liberate everyone from this. This movie put Keanu Reeves on the map. Before this, he was Ted Theodore Logan, in which he was all like, whoa! But in The Matrix, he's all like, whoa. And that, my friends, is range. And yeah, I'll give him speed, but let's be honest, The Matrix was his big movie. What I love about The Matrix is it gives us superheroes, essentially. When Neo, Trinity, Morpheus, all that crew, when they hack into The Matrix, they're able to bend the rules of The Matrix like any other computer program, which means they can move faster, jump higher, run up walls. It gives us some of the coolest action scenes you can think of. These action scenes today still are badass. And what I love is The Matrix is so full of special effects, but they are a means to tell the story still. Some of it can be seen as a little indulgent, but you let it slide because it's done so well. It's all about style and execution, man. Really, seriously, that one scene where Neo's dodging bullets and the bullets are going by him and the camera's spinning around him and he's all badass and bending backward. No human being on the face of the planet seeing that for the first time had the reaction, gay! Nobody, not one. We were all like, oh! This was mind-blowing shit right here. And this movie has a great villain. There are agents in The Matrix. These agents are put there to hunt down the resistance. They can bend the rules just like the hackers can. The main one is Agent Smith. This put Hugo Weaving on the map. Yeah, without The Matrix, you wouldn't know Hugo Weaving. And that would be a sad day for humanity. Agent Smith is so badass. He's all like, Mr. Anderson, it appears you're living two lives. He talks in a way where if you talk to this guy, you'd be like, I don't think you're human. I've talked with people who talk like that, and I still do not think they are human. Agent Smith is menacing. He's gotta be one of the most iconic villains in movies ever. Cool special effects, cool premise, post-apocalyptic world, done in a way in which you can still see the old world, but it's all bullshit, it's not real. Or is it bullshit? Because then the movie would be like, what is real? How do you define real? Which feeds into another point that The Matrix has a lot of philosophical themes to it, which isn't unheard of in a sci-fi, but it's really cool to see in a movie like this. It'd be just as easy for the movie to be like, oh, cool, slow-mo, and that's all awesome, and it's all revolutionary special effects, and that's enough to carry the movie. But it wasn't. It has more guts to it. I like seeing that. It was a clashing of genres, the likes of which you hadn't really seen yet. It's a crock pot. It's a melting pot of awesome. From the get-go, The Matrix made its mark on people and cinema. Movies were spoofing The Matrix within the first year of its release. People were talking about it within the first week and they haven't stopped talking about it since. It's always scary watching a nostalgic movie that you thought was awesome years ago and you haven't seen in a while, and you sit down to watch it and you're like, okay, this might suck now. You don't want it to, but it's a reality of the situation. Luckily, The Matrix, still awesome. In fact, The Matrix is Awesometacular. And yes, if you want to see my collaboration I did with Cinefix and the guys from Homemade Movies, if you don't know what they do, they ultimately take scenes from movies and or trailers, and they recreate them shot for shot, but with absolutely no budget whatsoever, so all the props are really simple props. It's like the movie Be Kind Rewind if they were accurate with the camera placement in their shots. It takes creativity to do something like this, and I love seeing that kind of creativity. It's funny as hell and it's entertaining, and they wanted to do the rooftop scene in The Matrix, you know, the scene where Neo dodges the bullets, and they were like, do you want to be our Neo? I was like, sure. So you can click on that if you have your annotations on. If you don't worry, I put a link below because I'm here for you. Always got a plan B for you. Check it out. It was fun as hell to do. I like that kind of creativity on YouTube. So The Matrix, did you see it when it came out? Did you see it later? What do you think about it? Does it still hold up today? Whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more. 'Cause I know Kung Fu.